Hey everyone, it's Fain Brandt. Hold on just one moment. I'm not seeing. There we are. Wait, let's go back. Gotta love. There we go. Okay, guys, having a little tech issues, but that's not going to be a problem tonight. This is Fain Brandt with a LinkedIn bakery serving up bite-sized tips so you don't get overwhelmed. I'm super excited. This is my last show for 2018. I hit a goal. Ching, ching, ching. That was being consistent with my Facebook live shows for 2018. You can find me here on the first and third Wednesdays of the month at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're watching, hold on one second. We're going to fix one thing because, hey, Kimberly, thanks for joining. So we've got Kimberly Shutters on. She's super excited for tonight's show. So I'm just going to work out some tech stuff. So bear with me. So tonight, you guys, we have Kelly Noble Mirabella of Stellar Media Marketing. Now, Kelly's been in the marketing industry for 11 years, but most recently, she has been working on chatbots for 2 years, and now she's teaching people how to set up their bots, why you need a bot, how to monetize on those bots. That sounds kind of funny, bots. I know you have the Baby Got Bot show, but I just want to welcome Kelly to the show tonight and all of the guests out there. And you guys, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and drop replay there in the comments because I want to know that you tuned in. And if you see, I have some prizes back here. So for those that are tuning in and ask a really great question, I'm going to mail you a Christmas gift for tuning in right on December 19th because I know you're all super, super busy. So without further ado, let's get Kelly on. Kelly, you are live there. Say hello to everyone.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here, Mary.
I'm super excited to have you with us tonight. So Kelly, why don't you give us a little background about, just before you got started in bots, like what's your background with marketing?
Sure. So my background in marketing goes way back. My degree is actually in marketing and business. And I got into social media marketing kind of out of necessity because I was doing new home sales and then the market crashed and I decided, okay, I don't want to be a new home salesperson anymore. So I went back and started working for a small home builder doing online marketing. And this is before anyone else really did it. And I kind of discovered digital marketing or social media because they would actually have me go and cover for the salespeople in the office because I was trained to do so with my experience. And I'd be out there and it's so slow. The market's down. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to just get on Facebook. I'm just going to put them on Facebook. I'm going to get a YouTube channel. I'm going to walk around these communities and these model homes. I'm going to take pictures, do video. And they started getting noticed. We started getting a lot more interest in the homes. Real estate agents would come in and say, oh, I saw you on Facebook. And this was back in like 2008. Maybe even earlier. And then I decided, this is a business. So I went into kind of doing a side hustle, if you will. And I did social media as a side job as well as my main job. And then eventually I started working for a company up in Denver, Colorado, doing social media marketing full time for them. I was with them for 2 years and then started my business, Stellar Media Marketing, in 2010.
Sweet. So you've been doing this for a while. Now, I'd love to know, chatbots are still relatively new. They're still the new kid on the block, if you could say. But you've been playing and dabbling in them for a couple of years. So how did you know that this was the next big thing that you needed to jump on this?
So I don't know if I got into it because it was the next big thing. I've always been one of those people who get into stuff really early and almost too early. And I did that with Facebook Live, for instance. I was one of the early adapters of MeerKAT. I was a very early adapter of Periscope. That was my favorite one. Periscope. I used to have a Google Hangout show. So live broadcasting was something I always loved. Okay. And as soon as Facebook Live came out, I launched a Facebook Live e-course. I was really early adapter to that. So I just have always been pretty good at kind of seeing trends coming and kind of feeling out what's worth pursuing. And the funny thing is that's not really what happened with necessarily with chatbots. What happened is I was cruising Facebook, as I do, because that is where I spend most of my time being a social media manager. And I saw an ad. This was about 2.5 years ago. I saw an ad for a company called Message Hero. And they basically said, we have this product that if you comment below, we will immediately send you a message via Facebook Messenger. And this was the most amazing thing I had ever heard of in my life. And I was like, that there's no way that that's a thing. And of course I commented, I had to know, and it worked. And I thought this was the coolest thing. And I guess going back to looking at trends that are going to come and hit us hard, I thought this is huge. I must buy into this. So I bought like a lifetime membership with them, which PS I haven't touched in 2 years. Yeah. And it was the first experience with chatbots, and it's only one little teeny tiny piece of what you can do with chatbots. So utilizing what I know of Facebook Live and utilizing what I know of this particular piece of chatbots, I started playing around with that. And then I attended Social Media Marketing World in 2017, and I got to talking with Molly Mahoney, who is the Prepared Performer. We were at a Mari Smith brunch following the conference, and she was telling me about everything she wanted to do with Facebook Live. And I said, I heard about this tool and you can do this. And we start kind of brainstorming, and both of us went home from that conversation really kind of like blown away with what we could do. And we started to, experiment in our own ways. So, rush up to December 2017, I kind of backburnered it because I was doing a whole bunch of other things, and I rediscovered it. I had some time. December is kind of that time of year where I decide I'm going to take a break. I want to learn something new. I try to focus on learning at least one new skill. And I thought, I'm going to go check out this tool called ManyChat, because I know that Molly was using it, Molly Mahoney, and I thought, I'm going to go check it out. So I signed up. And I just started playing with it, and I became obsessed. I mean, this was the coolest tool I had ever played with in my life. I have not seen anything like this sort of technology since Facebook launched, and I started discovering I could even use it for business. So this has been huge. So I started playing with it, and I got so inspired. I got so obsessed. But one of the things that I struggled with is finding quality trainings. ManyChat didn't have a free training out yet. And I would go to YouTube and I'd watch these horribly non-edited videos that were way too long and really tech heavy. And they would get, 15 minutes in and then mess up and say, oh, forget everything I just taught you and do this instead. And I would get so annoyed. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to be a student of this, but I also am going to teach everything I learn, because I have always been known as someone who can take tech talk and make it easy to understand for people.
Wait.
Thank you.
I just want to bow down. If you can take the tech talk and make it so we can understand it. I mean, I'm not afraid of tech, but sometimes I'm like, so when I'm working at home, my husband's not here right now, but I'm working back here and I'm like, I'm smarter than the computer. I'm going to win. He's like, why don't you I'm like, no, I'm going to win. I am smarter than this laptop. I'm smarter than this program, and I'm going to figure it out. But it can get intimidating, right? I think that's why we were talking before we go live, as I always do with my guests. And I was like, I know I need a bot. I know they're helpful because I get them all the time, but I'm intimidated by having to set up a bot because that sounds really technical.
It sounds really scary.
And is there code involved? And here's my brain. I'm like, I'm going to have to know code, or, this is where my brain goes.
You're so not alone in that. So, I mean, I run into so many people that feel that way, and I will, spend some time with them, whether through Messenger or with one consulting session, or they'll go and look at my videos on YouTube and they'll walk away like, wow, I had no idea that was so easy. So, I've always been someone who does education, and that's actually how I built my business and my clientele, was teaching. So I created these YouTube videos, and they're called Baby Got Bot is my channel. And
I love it.
The rest is history. I've been doing that for 2 years, I've been doing the YouTube channel since April. So it's been a lot of fun, and just kind of getting out there and teaching people how to build these chatbots and demystify that
you don't have to be a coder.
Exactly.
Hey,
it's really literally drag and drop.
Okay, so we have a few people on. Kimberly's here. Amanda says, "Hey gals." Hey Amanda.
Amanda,
No
Bella just
snow.
joined.
Yeah,
Hi,
no
Bella.
snow for you this Christmas, Amanda, right? Because she's not in Canada finally.
That's right.
And
She's in
Bella,
that.
hi Bella. Thank you so much for joining. So we're just getting started talking about bots and really how Kelly got started in social media marketing and her love for like being on the frontier, right? Of new things like Facebook, Facebook Live. I love learning new things, but my problem is I try to learn too many things. So I probably
Yeah.
have 8 programs that I have bought and I haven't even opened.
Oh, you're talking to someone who knows. The struggle is so real. Actually, the one reason that I have been able to find kind of success in the chatbot field recently, this year especially, is I hired Andrew and Pete from Andrew and Pete.
I've heard about them.
They're amazing. Join their Atomic. Everyone join Atomic. It's amazing. But I had a private consult with them and coaching session with them. And they just nailed it into my head. And every time I talk to them, they said, Kelly, I know you want to do all these other things, but no, do the chatbot. Stay course, stay focused. And it has totally helped me. And even recently I was on a mastermind call with them and I told them all my ideas. They said, okay, cut out 50% of what you just said and just focus on the bots because you've come so far. So if you guys are struggling with anything like that, go see Andrew and Pete. They're amazing. Hi, guys.
Hello, Andrew and Pete. I'm
We
going to
love
have
you.
to find out a little more about you. Bella also said Atomic with...
Amanda's in Atomic. Bella's in Atomic. Everyone loves
So all
Atomic.
the
That's
cool
their membership.
girls are in Atomic.
Everyone is an Atomic. That is anyone. No, it really is amazing. I've never met anyone, and I know we're not supposed to be, sitting here talking about them all the time, but I've never met any company or any person who's been able to accomplish anything that dynamic with content the way these guys do. Like they have raving fans.
Okay.
Like I feel like I'm their biggest fan, but literally there are probably 100 other people who feel like they are their biggest fan.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to look at that.
Nobody else has one of these though. That's all I'm saying.
I've seen the shirts. Who has the shirts?
Amanda Robinson and I, and Diana Carlos has a shirt as well. She bought a shirt off of us, but Amanda and I are the original OGs, and Amanda and I actually have the mugs. We're the ones with the mugs.
Hey, Sherry. Yeah. Sherry just joined us. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining us. You'll probably want to learn all about the chatbots. Bella said, yes, focus. Yeah, I have my brain. I have lots of ideas. And so that's why I'm always buying these other programs, and trying to learn new things. So focus, maybe that's my word for 2019 again.
I know. It's so important. It's really hard too, because I get it. It's, I think part of what makes a social media person successful too is that we're able to shift gears really quick. But at the same time, we all kind of suffer from squirrel syndrome. And when we can actually focus on one or two main things, we find a lot more success.
And also in the social media realm that we're all in on all the different platforms, they're always changing. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So we're like trying to keep up with.
Which is what I love.
Right? So there's always stuff new, and then there's new programs and apps that complement the social media platforms that we're on and the trainings that we're doing. So it's just, it's a constant learning phase. But I think you had a key point is that we need to maybe pick a couple things to focus on. Okay, so now that we're talking about being focused, which really goes with everything I've been talking about the last couple weeks, my Monday motivation with Mary, it's all about picking your word for the year, getting your phrase, making your motto, and just getting that strategic and getting focused. Amanda, I've got one. You've got a mug.
She has a course coming.
Oh, Squirrel
I think that's
Syndrome.
what she meant.
I think she meant,
she has a course coming though. I know that.
Okay. Maybe. And then she says Squirrel Syndrome. Yep. My husband calls it a much better phrase for squirrel. He calls it glitter glitter for me.
I like that.
Anything that's sparkly and shiny, Mary's like, what is that? What is that?
Yes. I like that. I'm going to use that.
Borrow it. But my husband gets all the credit. He calls it glitter glitter syndrome for me.
Love it. Love it.
So, yeah. So let's get back to bots. And what we're here for tonight is on the last Facebook Live show of my Facebook Live show for 2018 with Kelly. Thank you for joining me this Wednesday. Let's talk about the bots. And I think first, let me ask the audience a question. Who out there already has a chatbot? I'd love for you to give us a thumbs up in the comments so I kind of know in the audience who has one already and that you're actively using. Now, if you have one and you're not using it, that's okay. But if you're actively using a chatbot, why don't you give us a thumbs up in the comments? So we'll wait just a minute for that.
I know that Bella's using one, and I know Amanda's using one for sure.
I just got Amanda's.
Yeah. Amanda's actually used quite a few. Amanda and I actually started building them together because we actually have a show in the summer called the Amanda and Kelly Show, or Amanda and Kelly Live Show. And we love playing with chatbots on that. And Amanda and I have actually been on stage together. Gosh, Amanda, has it been two times together speaking on.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
So Kimberly Shutters has one. Amanda Robinson has one. Bella Vasta has one. Sherry, I put her comment on the screen. She has one, but she doesn't understand how it works. Is that pretty common? Like when people get started, maybe they have one, but they're not really sure, like, what's the best way to use it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are told, or they hear, like, you should have a chatbot. Everyone should have a chatbot, which I think is true. But I think that a couple things can happen from that. You're going to set one up and you don't really know why you're setting up. So I think you need to get clear on the why. Why do I need this? Will it bring value? And it could be something, and we could go through a couple of scenarios. Like you could do one that helps build your subscriber base to a podcast, to a live show. You could do one that qualifies leads into a membership program or what have you. So there's, I have one where I am doing a series of webinars every Thursday in December. And I have a chatbot that will not only remind people via the chatbot, but it will register them to my webinar, which is in Zoom, and it will automatically register them in the chatbot. They don't have to leave. So not only do I capture their information in my chatbot, I send them notifications in my chatbot. They get email notifications from Zoom. They can join me in Zoom. It grows my Facebook group because I run all my live trainings in my Facebook group exclusively. So I have kind of tiers of goals. And then I have many other goals with many other chatbots, but that's just one example. So there's a lot of reasons.
I think that you said a key word that made me think when you said remind. You said remind. So in today's overflow of information, we sign up for so many things on Facebook and webinars and trainings. I think that maybe that's an easy thing that we can all relate to is that we need to remind our audience. We need to remind our clients of when a training is or when a Facebook Live is. So that might be the number one reason for this group right here, right? Is you can use a chatbot to help remind your network of an upcoming event, a live training. And
or like your live broadcast that you're doing bi-monthly.
Yeah. 2019. Mary Fain Brandt Coaching and Consulting is going to have a chatbot. It's coming to you soon.
I love it. I could see here that Kimberly has a great question. What pages can you have chatbots? I think that's important.
Kimberly, I think that deserves a prize. So Kimberly, you can tell me if you want the bag or the box. You get to choose.
Bag or the box.
Yeah, just put bag or box in the comments and I'll mail that out to you.
So I want to back up just for a second and explain to you what a chatbot is. I think a lot of people understand it, but lately I think they limit it to Facebook Messenger. And really a chatbot is any kind of automated, pre-programmed system of responses and questions that leads people to a destination. So to uncomplicate that, it could be your Alexa skills. It could be your Google skills when you're talking, hey, Google. I'm sure everyone's Android devices just went off. It could be Siri. It can be, your Facebook messengers. It could be little chat boxes on your website. So there's a lot of different types of chat bots. The ones that I specialize in are the Facebook Messenger bots. And I think those are the most commonly referred to when you hear people as of late speaking of those. Now, to get back to Kimberly's fantastic question, where can you have them? Well, you can have them on any business page. You cannot use them on your personal page. I mean, you can integrate them, but they come from your business page. So you can use them, you can utilize them on your personal account. There's ways, you can't use all the tools. There's ways you can utilize them in your Facebook group, but they all run through the business page. So if you have a business page,
that's where they start. Is your business page. So on Mary Fain Brandt Coaching and Consulting, that is where I build per se the bot. That's where all the information comes from. So it always will say Mary Fain.
It'll always say it's coming from that company page. Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
So when you get a message from my chatbot, it comes from Stellar Media Marketing.
Oh, I get all yours. Cause I'm always
You're
like,
like, I
yes.
gotta see all of them.
Well, because it's like, oh, I'm going to do a training. Do you want to, and you talk about it, and then do you want to, do you want to attend, or do you want to be part of it? Yes or no? And you're like, cool. Or you're like, okay, sorry, you can't make it this time. See you next time. I love it. So I'm like, literally, I've been following you and yours because I want to learn more and I want to see how they work. So I'm that type of person is like, I really need to understand it before I implement it.
Sure. It totally makes sense. I use, there's so many use cases and they could be really complex or they could be really simple. I find in my business and with a lot of entrepreneurs, especially, that the simplest chatbots are the ones that are the most successful in helping not only you, the business owner, but also the end user.
Okay, Kimberly has another great question. Is there a way to have a natural language dialogue so the conversation doesn't sound like it's automated? Well, I think, isn't that when you type it up? That's when you're actually.
You should be. So your chatbot is only going to be as good as how you build it. There's levels of chatbots. Most, I would say 90% of businesses, especially small business entrepreneurs, are building chatbots that are not using artificial intelligence. So I don't know where this rumor started, but chatbots do not equal artificial intelligence.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up. You guys, once again, chatbots do not equal artificial intelligence. We're gonna like cut that rumor down right now.
You need to just get rid
you
of
heard it here on this Facebook Live show. AI and chatbots, two different things.
They are not the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you can integrate artificial intelligence into your chatbot to make them more intuitive and smarter, but it's expensive and a lot tech heavier. Most people are just building them out. So if you want to create a chatbot that's more conversational, then when you're writing it out, you write it as if you talk. The number one compliment I get on my chatbots is it feels like someone is talking to me, even though from the get-go, when they subscribe, I let them know that it's my chatbot assistant named MikaBot, it's actually my chat dog assistant.
And don't you have to do that because Stephanie Lou says it's her something chatbot. And Amanda, you just sent me, I just did yours, and it said this is Amanda's BFF bot or something.
Yes, it's not required by Facebook. It's required by the state of California.
Well, that's good to know, though.
Yeah, so there's a law in the state of California that just got passed. It hasn't fully been implemented, but it will be soon, where you have to, any bot, it could be the traditional bots that we think of, the spammy bots on Twitter, which is really where this came from. But it can also be your chat bots on Facebook Messenger. You have to let people know they're not talking to a human. And everyone freaked out when they heard this. And I know Amanda Robinson and I were both like, it's really not that big a deal. Because all you do is you introduce at the beginning, hey, mine says, hey, my name is MikaBot. I'm Kelly's chat dog assistant, here to help you.
And Kathy loves that. Kathy tuned in. She's like, chat dog, love it, because Kathy loves her furry friends.
She's named after my late dog, Mika. Aww. And like she'll have quirky little things. So if you say to my chatbot, hey, go get Kelly, I want to talk to Kelly, my bot assistant will come in and say, oh, let me go fetch her for you and drag whatever kid she has attached to her leg away from the kid to come talk to you.
So that's how you humanize it. That's how you make it real.
I build my chatbots as if you are talking to me. I want personality. I want it to feel like no matter how much you're talking to a robot or a messaging system, I want you to forget that you are. Okay. And I think that's how you do it. It's very easy to do it that way. You just talk, you just write the way you talk.
Right, the way you talk. So mine be like, hey, Mary's glitter syndrome. I'll be right there. So just really infuse your own personality in it. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you're not going to sit there and have like you and I are having a conversation without artificial intelligence. That's not happening. Now, mind you, the tech is there. Google has already created chatbots that can like set restaurant reservations for you and you think it's a human, but that's not, no one is doing that on Facebook Messenger. So it's really more of the choose your own adventure. You're building out a flow with questions and buttons and you're leading people into certain directions based off of your goals.
Okay. And so Amanda typed in, hers is my BF, her bot friend, which I thought was adorable. Chat dog, bot friend. Come up with a quirky name for yours.
Yeah.
Own it. So Kathy says, how long does it take to build?
So
Are we
Yeah,
there
I mean,
yet?
it depends on the person, obviously. It could take me like, I am known. So I mentioned that Amanda and I have a live show. I am known as the bot builder for the show, and we will go on our show and we'll just be talking. We'll say, oh, hey, we have this free guide we can give away. Kelly, go jump in and create one. And within 2 minutes, I've created a chatbot to
What?
go with it. But I'm really, really fast and I do them all the time. That being said, I have a student who's gone through a lot of my videos, and I walked her through a couple steps, and she sells little girls' dresses. And like, I think they're called dot smile dresses. She does not do social media. She is not a savvy person when it comes to tech. And she built her chatbot, which was amazing. It was like a full on contest chatbot that led people to follow her on every page and like her on every account and get into our Facebook group. And she did it in 30 minutes. Her
Wow.
first chatbot she did in 30 minutes. So
That's impressive. So I could actually sit down and do one over this weekend.
oh yeah. It's drag and drop, but you need to be able to use a third party tool for it to be drag and drop. So I use ManyChat. ManyChat's my go-to. I know Amanda uses ManyChat. I know Bella uses ManyChat. I know that Andrew and Pete use ManyChat. I know this because I'm in like everybody's chatbots. I got my fingers into everything. But ManyChat is really one of the easiest chatbot tools. And by the way, PS guys, it's free to start.
What?
Yeah, you can get in and do most of everything. I pay $10 a month for all the premium features, but you
can get started for free. Okay, news alert,
totally
because
free.
this girl right here thought I had to pay. I thought I had to pay to use a bot service, and I thought I needed code or something like that. So right now, you don't have to have code, and you can get started for free. So really, this is a no-brainer, and y'all are going to get inundated with my bots because I am going to create one this weekend.
Yeah. So, really quick, let me explain to people how the bot is built, because that's or I suppose we're going to get into misconceptions soon, but
yeah, but no, because so we had some questions. Sherry's like, are you going to show us how to do it? Kathy's like, how long does it take to build? So we can't really show you how to do one on the Facebook Live show, but we can,
got my YouTube channel.
You can go to Kelly's YouTube channel. Now, ManyChat is free. You know that you could probably do this. I'm going to say in an hour. Let's just say you're not a real tech person. 1 hour this weekend, you can have a chat bot set up.
I have a 5-minute video on my YouTube channel right now that helps you set up your first chatbot. I mean, I've got a 10-minute video that helps you deliver a lead magnet. So I would say just go to YouTube, Stellar 24/7, and there's over 30 chatbot videos on
you guys, after the show, Kelly will drop your YouTube link in the comments, so everyone will have access to that right after the show, just so you have it at your fingertips to go in there. So so when we talk about the 3 things we're going to go over in the show, one was where to start. So you would say start on Kelly's YouTube channel.
Yeah, go there first.
Sign up for ManyChat because it's free. One of my favorite 4-letter words.
Yeah, it's absolutely free. And then I actually have a video on I think it's the highlighted video on my channel that actually says, where do you start? And the first thing I tell you is sit down and figure out, why do you want a chatbot?
Okay, so let's go with that. So we said, when you were talking, one of the reasons that you would want to have a chatbot is to remind people, right?
Yes.
Remind people of a Facebook Live show, remind them of a training, remind them of a webinar. Would you use it to grow your Facebook membership group? Like grow your membership? Okay.
I do. I have a Facebook group. Almost every chatbot that I send out has some kind of lead into one of my Facebook groups, depending on what I'm doing. So for instance, I'm running my webinar every Thursday in December. That is connected to my social media for brainstorming group. So all the chatbots lead into that group. But I also have a chatbot flow that people subscribe to that sends you every Thursday an update about my latest video, which goes out every Thursday.
Get that one.
Yeah, and then any news, anything that comes up, any podcast that I'm on, but any other updates, and that goes out every Thursday. And then it also tells people, go join my Facebook group. So that helps grow my Facebook groups as well.
Okay, so that's 2 great reasons why to have a chatbot, why you would use them. Amanda says Kelly's videos are fabulous.
They're totally awesome.
They're totally awesome. Yes, you're the 80s queen over there. Sherry said, great. So she's all excited. Okay, so we remind people with our chat box. We can grow our Facebook group membership with our chat bot. What is one other reason that a small business or entrepreneur would set up a chat bot?
You can grow your email list.
What?
Yeah, and you should. You should.
Okay, right there. You have me right there.
Yeah, a lot of people are out there, they're saying chatbots are going to replace email. I think that's phooey. I think they're completely different. Yes, we use them a lot in our presentations and everything to compare open rates and attention rates and click-through rates, because sometimes a tool will come along that converts better and we want to use that tool. Well, there you go. But it is the difference between owning and renting. You rent ManyChat, you rent Facebook, but you own your email list. So you can absolutely use a chatbot to very easily grow an email list.
And you would want to grow your email list, let's say, if you were launching a new course, a new service, a new product, right, folks? Don't forget about your email list, because that's where you have that captive audience. That know, like, and trust factor already.
Emails, there's still definitely a place for emails. And I really believe in touch points. I think that you should have a diverse marketing strategy that all lead into one goal or a couple goals, but you pick a goal and then you use different touch points. So I have certain strategies for my chatbot, my email list, my Instagram, and my YouTube videos, for instance. Those are just 4 examples that all lead into one end goal. So don't just put all eggs in one basket. It doesn't really help. It doesn't work that way.
Right. Okay, so we have our 3 reasons or 3 types of reasons that you would want to use a chatbot. So it's to remind people of an upcoming live event, or like this, a Facebook live show, or maybe you have a training. It's to grow your Facebook group membership. That's a great reason. And I like this one, I think almost the most, is to grow my email list. So I've got 3 hot reasons why I need to set up my chatbot.
That's just 3 of many. Chatbots basically are only limited by your imagination.
Okay. And I just don't want to overwhelm the audience. So I always like to give people,
I think that's good.
I love Steve Jobs.
I just want them to know it's not limited to that.
But I like to leave everyone with 3 reasons, 3 tips that you can implement. So there are 3 easy reasons why you would want to use a chatbot. So just go to Kelly's YouTube station.
I have videos for every one of them.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about where to start. That's on YouTube with Kelly, and ManyChat, because it's free, my favorite 4-letter word. We talked about different ways and reasons that you would want to use a chatbot. Misconceptions. I think we need to talk about the misconceptions. We talked about that a little bit. We're gonna take that chatbots are not AI. I love that right there.
That's one of them. Sure.
That's one of them. But talk to us more about the misconceptions.
So definitely the first one is the AI thing. That comes up so often, it's ridiculous. And I think that's one of the reasons people get scared off, is they think because of artificial intelligence, because like the coding. So I would say number 2 is definitely the misconception that it's hard to start a chatbot or to create a chatbot. The threshold to get in is so low right now, and it is, they're really, the programs out there to help you, the ManyChats and the chat fuels and what have you, they are there to create drag and drop solutions. It's fairly easy and intuitive to use. And if you just get in and do kind of have a goal in mind, it's rather easy. So, number 1 is no artificial intelligence. It's not equal. And then number 2 is that it's not super techy. It can be just like anything else.
Right.
But it doesn't have to be. And then, the other one is how you get people into your chatbot. I think a lot of people think that if they like your page, you automatically are subscribed to your chatbot, or that you can bring in your email list or whatever. And that is not the case. In order for people to become subscribers to your Facebook Messenger chatbot, they have to message your page. They have to interact with your page through Facebook Messenger. Now currently there are 13 different what we call growth tools inside of ManyChat. These can be links that people click on and get into. They could be scan codes. If you went to my website, you would see a little bubble pop up with a chatbot box asking a question, asking people if they want to chat. That's another one. There's ads. There's just a lot of ways to get people in. One of my favorites is if you have a Facebook Live and you have a chatbot set up, you could say, hey, comment below and I'll send you, XYZ. And that's a really popular chatbot growth tool. So there's a lot of ways to get people into the chatbot, but you cannot just automatically add people. And just because you have thousands and thousands of likes on your Facebook page does not mean those people are going to automatically be a part of your subscription base.
So but that's what I was going to say. So a chatbot is subscription based.
It absolutely is. And it is a lot harder than email, for instance, to manipulate. Because you know the old saying, or I don't know how old it is, but marketers ruin everything. It's harder to ruin this because Facebook's put a lot of kind of restrictions on how you can get people into the chatbot.
Okay, great. Abigail joined us. She said, thanks for sharing, ladies. Thanks, Abigail, for joining us. We're hoping that this is really fun and informative for you. I'm learning so much. Are there any other misconceptions that you'd like to share with the audience tonight?
I think another big problem that I see, and I don't think this is going to affect a lot of your listeners, but certainly people who get in more and more, like I know Amanda has probably seen this because she's in the industry, but whether you're new to it or you're old to it or you've been around for a while, one of the biggest problems I see, and I don't know if it's a misconception, but it's certainly a problem, is that people are trying to make these giant chatbots all in one flow and with tons of integrations. They're basically trying to make a chatbot that does everything, because if you take a picture, like a screenshot, and you share that in a group, everyone's like, oh, that's amazing. I can't believe you built that. I'd never be able to build that. It's amazing. And in my mind, I'm thinking you have created something that if one little thing breaks, it's impossible to fix. So I think the key is to build small flows that tie together. Okay. So it's like you're building, I'm building an arm, and then I'm building a hand, and then I'm building little fingers. So I'm attaching them to
so you don't build not a really long list.
Yeah. If we're going to give like the analogy of I'm building like a human or like a human, I'm going to build the human by pieces. So an arm, a hand, a fingers, it's all connected, but I'm not going to make one, I'm just not going to put it all in one thing, right? Then you're just a blob. So you want to be able to make it so that your chatbot can continue to grow and have a lot of features, but you don't want to make it so that it's all kind of in one thing. And then, I think a misconception that does pertain to everyone listening, because I see a lot of people make this mistake, is they think that it's like the perfect frequently asked question solver, right? Like I mentioned, it's not artificial intelligence. You can make it so that it's helpful with answering questions. If you're a coffee shop, what is your Wi-Fi? What are your directions? What are the hours? But if you are like, a big conference or something, and you want to have all of the you have like 100 most commonly asked questions, and you're expecting your chatbot to relieve your sales force by answering that, that's a hefty chatbot. And it's probably going to fail unless you are going to spend an enormous amount of money on artificial intelligence. And most people aren't.
Yeah. So Bella said, keep it simple.
Yes. The KISS method. It works.
Okay. And she said, Sherry. Oh, so thank you, Bella. Yeah. She's sharing the YouTube. Bella's great at that. Thank you, Bella. Yeah. So keeping it simple, especially for those that are just getting started.
Absolutely. Start simple.
But really know what you're using it for. Don't just set one up. That's probably why I haven't set mine up. Like, I know I want to use it for my Facebook live shows. Now that I know that I don't have to have coding and that it's free, I'm going to go ahead and set that up for 2019. But I think that those were some of the misconceptions that I had. So I always know, like, if I'm thinking that, I know my audience, some people out there are probably thinking that.
And you know what? One more, Mary, and I know we want to wrap up soon, but one that pertains to you and what you're saying specifically, and I think that will help a lot of other people, is that you can build a chatbot that helps, for instance, with your Facebook Lives. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't mean that anyone who messages your page will receive that chatbot. So you can have different entry points. Okay. So just because you build the chatbot doesn't mean everyone has to see that one. A lot of people kind of get freaked out about that. Like, oh no, I have this coupon I want to deliver, or this lead. I just don't want everyone to see it. It will only be seen by the people that have that entry point. So
that is a great tip. Thank you for sharing that, because that's probably something I had in my mind. Like, well, I only want, the people that marked interested or going
exactly.
like, hey, don't forget tonight we're going live, or
Yes.
people that like my page. Are they the
Gotta
right fit?
segment that list. Yeah.
Segment the list. Okay, great tip. So what else do you want to share with us about, this has been so helpful. Like my fear of chatbots just broke down. Let's see. Sherry said, gotta watch the video from this lady on chatbot. She's
Hi,
talking about you.
Kelly. My name's Kelly. Thank you so much.
Kelly,
I'm so
Kelly,
glad you're
Kelly.
here.
Yeah.
One thing I would say, just get started. I know at the very beginning of this live broadcast, I said, I think that people hear, oh, you have to have a chatbot, and they start one. And I do think every business out there could benefit from a chatbot, but don't be afraid to get started is where I want to end this. Don't be afraid
Right.
to sit down and think, okay, what are the possibilities, and which one am I going to pick to start? And if you're looking for inspiration, if you're looking for some ways to learn more, like I said, I have a YouTube channel. I have a Facebook group. I'm always happy to help. My YouTube channels start from the basics of how to set it up all the way to how to do that Zoom integration I talked about, or how to get emails into MailChimp or Constant Contact, or I have another one that teaches you how to create a calculator inside. So I've got videos for you to, even just brainstorm.
That's wonderful. Well, this has been really fun and informative. Kelly, thank you so much. I know it's a busy time of year. You've got your kiddos, so thank you so much for taking the time and joining us tonight. And you guys, like I said, you can find me here the first and third Wednesdays of the month at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am looking to fill the calendar for 2019 with amazing guests, but more importantly, you guys, I want to know, what do you want to learn about in 2019? Who do you want to see here on the show? And it might be you. You might be an amazing speaker, a social media expert, and you might want to be on the show. I am now looking to fill up the calendar for 2019, so message me. Maybe I should set up a bot for that. Could I have them fill out a form?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's my first bot.
Absolutely. I have a video to teach you how to do surveys. It's the same thing.
Oh, sweet. Well, there we go. But yeah, we're really looking to engage with the audience in 2019 and bring on amazing guests and speakers that can really help build your business, encourage you, and give you the tools to succeed. So Kelly, once again, thank you so much for joining us. And her links are in the comments. Sherry said she has a bot. Oh, I think she's messaging someone. So you guys, thank you so much, and happy holidays. And I'll see you in January. Ciao.
Thanks, everyone.